Ah. 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 Oh. Oh. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey. Hey, you gonna clean up the kitchen? It's a fucking mess in here. Seriously. Look at me. Are you gonna clean up the fucking kitchen? You gonna wash that dish? That knife? That fork? Motherfucker? 'Cause I'm not gonna clean up your shit. Or you're gonna clean up the kitchen when you're done. You just don't have to clean up your dishes. You have to wipe that plate totally fucking clean, because I am not gonna eat off of that plate if you're eating chicken off of that plate. So that plate needs to be totally fucking clean. That plate needs to be totally fucking clean. Because I do not eat after carnivores. You know what happened to the last brother who did not clean up their plate when they were eating chicken off of it? What happened to the last brother? Oh, I suppose that he got his ass beat. Is that right? He got his ass beat. He indeed had his ass beaten because he did not wipe the chicken off the plate when he was finished with it. And that is no. Because in this house, this vegan is the rooster. The vegan is the rooster. Now I've got a halfway house for a bunch of ne'er-do-wells and losers making their exit from prison on parole. I'm a vegan. I'm a little bit of a headmaster, taskmaster type. Draconian in some respects. It's true. Everybody who comes through here, if they eat any meat, they're gonna have to wipe the plates clean. Is that right, brother? You're gonna wipe your plate clean. You're gonna clean up the kitchen. There's gonna be no crumbs on a kitchen counter. Now, what I believe is that these people who are exiting prison, they need a sense of discipline. If they stay here long enough, I'm gonna get them to go vegan. But in lieu of that, they're gonna have to wipe their plates clean, wipe off the kitchen counter, lift the seat up when they're done peeing, make sure that there's not just a tiny bit of toilet paper left on the roll. And no soap suds around the bathroom sink, and the shower curtain is closed. Now, I only have 3 or 4 people here at a time because I can only control 3 or 4 people at a time, but that is good for them. We live in a society. There's this cultural milieu that says no control, but these guys coming out of prison, they don't know shit from shat. Now, you think that they would know all about discipline coming out of prison, but they are in the opposite frame of mind. They're done with the rules, they're done with the control, and now they want to go back out in society and not be under control? When everybody's got this fear of the convict on parole, when they're looking for the convict to misstep, make some kind of mistake, an error that will terrify them, so they'll alert the authorities and then the convict goes back into prison? No. One of the reasons I decided to be a vegan was to control myself and all my appetites and my lust for flesh. Now, I don't know that I'm necessarily a better person as a result of being a vegan. Do you think I am? Well, you wouldn't know. We've only been friends for a couple weeks. I think you're okay, man. I think you're okay. You're a little bit dominating. I'm a little bit dominating. But this guy, if he stays here, what's your name again? Peter? Peter, if Peter stays here? Peter, what were you in for? He's not going to tell you. What were you in for? Rape. Did you tell me that before you came? Okay. We might need to... Yeah, okay. So, I tend to become better when I control myself, when I exercise self-discipline, when I have a regimen, a schedule, a program. So I ended up just kind of delineating all the aspects of my life that I could put under control, where I could exercise some kind of sovereignty over it, all right? Now, on the one hand, you would think that that would make my life rather dull and uniform, homogeneous, and that's actually kind of true, but think of the alternative. Think of Peter, a rapist, who just got out of prison. I'm sorry, Peter, I don't mean to speak about you in the third person when you're here. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You raped someone. Okay? So anytime you decide to get pissed off about anything in life, just remember that. It's not a laughing matter. If you have enough contrition, you can look at your behavior, and going forth, you can use that contrition to control your impulsiveness. Okay. That's how you gotta talk to him sometimes. You have to use big words. You notice that in theoretical circles. Big words. Controlling the minds. Big words often control the minds of the people who are using them, but those big-minded people don't really realize it. So anyways, I've needed to exert control over myself in every aspect of my reality because, ironically enough, I did some things that weren't so good. Like Peter. I had no control over myself. And I am an ex-convict as well. And I knew that I could not leave this halfway house. I don't really step outside. I have the groceries delivered to the front door. I have a custodian, maid-like figure come over, take care of the necessary stuff. Everything is shipped. Because I don't know how to control myself unless I really control myself. Is that right? He's right. when you have gone to the other side and you have been completely out of control, you realize that you're not free. And then you have all these other people in society say, oh, he's too under control. He's in a straitjacket. He's straight-laced. He's self-oppressed, self-suppression, too much discipline. I said to them, too much freedom will ruin you. Control, discipline, that's freedom. Look at this body. Look at this body. This body is a architecture of all this microorganicity working in radical conductivity. It's a symphony. It's all a form of control. Dynamic interrelatedness. There are rules, there's laws here that keep this in such an exquisite composition that I can go out, if I went out, and do all these things because all of this is under control. There is no freedom here, and that is my freedom. Right, Peter? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I just know that when I was imprisoned, all I could think about was freedom. And now that I'm out, I can just think about women all the time. But I know that if I go out there thinking about women all the time, that I'm gonna do the same thing that got me in there. So I gotta be someone who's not like the person that I used to be before I went in there. So I'm okay with wiping off the chicken from the plates because I don't want to be the person who was the person before I went in. Well, before I was the person who went in to the prison. It was a long time in there, and thought about pussy all the time. And you know, when you're in there and there's other people who are doing who did all these things that are bad. Like, I was drunk, man. I was drunk. She was drunk. And I don't even remember what happened, but I just know that she was pissed the next day when I left. And she called the cops, and now I'm in fucking prison. And now I gotta make sure that I wipe the chicken off your plate. Which is cool. Because I'm not gonna go out there and get drunk again. You know? I don't know if I'm gonna be a vegan or not. That's probably not cool with me because I like meat. But I know what you mean about the control. Like, when you're in prison, all you want to do is get out and be free. But it's terrifying because I was in there for 10 years. And like, you're in there for 10 years and you just don't even have a clue what you're gonna do when you get out. And you know everybody's got it out for you. And people are just waiting for you to fuck up so they can call the cops. Because they're like scared. Scared that you're gonna rape them. If you tell them that you raped somebody, they don't care. They don't care that you were drunk. They don't care about that. So you see, my friend Peter, he's not terribly sharp. You're not offended if I tell them that, are you? He's not sharp. But he does know one thing. He knows that he got totally disoriented in prison, and he knows that if he fucks up again outside of prison, he's going to go back in, and he can't handle the freedom. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't think many people can handle freedom. And that's why they go to prison. So in this halfway house, I get them to clean the plates. I kind of try to fast track them to veganism. It doesn't always work. When they get out of jail, they just want to eat whatever they want. They don't want to eat food that has no animal products in it. That's a form of control that I think is an ultimate form of freedom. Not everybody agrees with me. They point out that I'm wearing a leather jacket and I'm a vegan. I tell them I got the leather jacket before I was a vegan. They tell me, oh, you're a hypocrite. I tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm gonna wear what I want. It's about control as freedom. And I'm here and I'm just really scared. You know, you saw that Shawshank Redemption, and the people just kill themselves. They're hanging from a rafter, they're killing themselves because they're too afraid. And I don't know how to deal. It's like, when coming back from a war, you can't even interact with society and other people. Like, I'm afraid of women now, man. Like, you know how it goes. People get upset. You look at them the wrong way and be like, oh man, that guy makes me nervous. And then they just come up with something and I'm back in jail when I didn't even do anything. So, what I want to do is, I was thinking about being a vegan. Just, I don't care about the animals per se, really. I'm just thinking that if I can be a vegan, that no woman's gonna look at me and throw me back in prison for looking at her because she's angry because of the way I look at her or something like that. So I'm thinking if I just go vegan, then I can kind of prevent that from happening. And maybe I can just live here with you. We can talk about that, Peter, but generally speaking, people only stay for a few months. And if you're interested in being a vegan, then maybe we can arrange a little longer stay. But as it is, we got a lot of people coming out of prison, and they got a lot of problems. Yeah, man, but I don't know. You know, I don't know if I trust myself. Like, I want to control everything about me. I want to control everything. I want to control my thoughts. Like, oh, if I have a runny nose, I don't want to have a snot coming out of my nose. And if I've got stuff in my ears, I don't want stuff in my ears. And I want to wake up in the morning at exactly 6 a.m. I didn't even want to make mistakes when I talk. I want it all under control because there's so much. Do you know what that's like when you are falsely accused of something? You're terrified, and you're terrified. You're terrified that somebody's gonna falsely accuse you again and you're gonna go in there. So if I can just become a vegan and get it all under control, all of it. You think I could become a vegan? So you see that a lot of people are just kind of shattered. Psychologically shattered. When they get out of prison, you would think that they would want nothing but freedom. And they do. They want nothing but freedom, but then they realize, freedom only comes through radical self-control. So people, they'll become vegans, they don't give a fuck about animals. All they want to do is control themselves. And I've kind of thought about that too from my own little angle of not leaving the halfway house. I mean, I have not stepped. I've not stepped past the front door. It's 20 years. I'm fucking terrified, just like Peter's terrified. I'm terrified of what's out there. Because from what I can tell, from what I can see from the windows and watch on TV, what I can tell and what I knew before, all these people walking around free, they're a mess. I'm scared of all these free people. Man, to them, they're not free. Peter, those people out there, they're not free. And you're going to have to learn how to deal with that. I know that you're terrified. You have to realize that everybody that you're talking to, they're free and they're not free. They're free, man, but they got no self-control. So how are they free, man? Those are the people that could throw you back out in prison if you don't watch it. Man, you were fucking messing with me, man. I can't go out there like that, man. Ah. Gotta be a vegan, man. I will be a vegan. I will not have chicken again on my plate. I won't have to wash off the plate because there will be no more chicken on it, man. I feel you, Peter. I feel you, brother. I feel you. I know what you're going through right now. I know what you're going through right now. I was going through the same thing when I got out. You're like those people out there that could throw me back in. I just got back out, man. I fucking feel you, man. I don't want to go. I'm going to stay here. I want to be a vegan. I'll be a vegan with you. And I'm not into guys, but maybe we get married, maybe we stay together, we get together, we be married. Peter, that's not what we're gonna do, brother. But I feel your pain. I know that you got a lot of suffering inside you. I know that you were there for 10 years under false accusations, man. Just don't eat the meat. Don't eat the meat, brother. Be free. And if you decide to walk through the front door, and you got nothing but the best wishes from me and blessings from me. And you know, there's going to be people coming, and they're going to take your place, and they're going to be vegans. And I'm going to just keep pumping the vegans out the front door. Vegans, 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 vegans. And all these people are going to be so controlled out there in the world. They're going to be controlled and they're going to be free because they're going to be controlled. They're going to have self-sovereignty. And nobody's going to fuck with them. Right? I'm staying here, man. I'm staying here. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. If it's going to come down to it, we're going to fight. Because I'm not going through the front door. I'm going to fight. I promise you I will not eat chicken again. I'm not going to eat chicken anymore, man. I'm going to stay here and be free in this halfway house and never have to deal with them. With them. Those are the people that threw me in prison. All of them walking around free with no self-control. All right. You can stay. But you gotta live in the basement, all right, Peter? You gotta go down there, live in the basement, and get it under control, because right now you were just too passionate for me. Personally, you're too passionate for me. You're probably the most passionate ex-convict who came out of prison that I've seen in 2 months. You're all a bunch of you're passive and passionate motherfuckers. Now go down in the cellar and just do some push-ups and get rid of that energy. You get really riled up, man. They come out of prison and they got so much fucking energy. They don't know what to do with it and they're terrified. A lot of them. I go through that every day. I go through it, man. I go through the gauntlet of passion, energy, total hyperkineticism, like boom. There's hope for Peter, honestly. Did you see that? There's a lot of passion. If you can just channel, focus, funnel that passion. Whew. I love my job. I love it. I can't do any other job. No way. Not with you people out there. Bunch of carnivores, omnivores. You got no self-control. You think you're free, and you are absolutely a mess. I would recommend a stint in prison for you. Go out there and commit a crime, get thrown in a pen. Learn what it means to want freedom so badly, and then get out behind the bars, come out of the prison, and realize That freedom is your worst enemy. He's got no self-control. In the prison, all the control came from outside of you, clamping down on you. Right, Peter? Right, Peter? Yo, man, you're right. Know what I'm saying? All of that control came from outside of you. And then you break out of prison, and you're walking around, and that control isn't there as much. I mean, it's there, but it's subtle, it's invisible, and you know it. But the kind of control that you experienced from without while you were in prison, that's not there. And then you realize, oh my God, all these people are nervous, they're anxious, they're neurotic, they're on edge, they're intense, they're bug-eyed, they're walking around terrified. Look at that convict. He's gonna do something to me. Oh my God. He's gonna do something to me. Excuse me, sir. You just stay right there or I'm gonna call the cops. I'm sorry. I'm just breathing. I'm just breathing. I'm sorry. I was better off in prison than most of these people are. Walking around free. And even though I just kind of threw Peter down into the basement, he'll be okay. He'll be fine down there. He'll bide his time and he'll stare into the flashlight and play finger puppets with the shadows on the wall until he gets bored, and then he'll come back up and we'll talk about veganism again, and I'll indoctrinate him a little bit more. It's a positive indoctrination. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's shell-shocked. As you would be. If you had been falsely accused of rape and thrown in a prison for 10 years, and you get out, who do you look to for guidance, supervision? Who is your mentor? Nobody. You don't trust anybody. Nobody can get you. Nobody gets you. So I impose some superficial regimen on him. I throw him in the basement, give him a flashlight. He plays with the shadows in the cave. He's gonna go vegan soon. He's taking great care of the bathroom. There's no toothpaste on the faucet. There's no soap suds collecting around the drain of the shower. And then there's not any mildew on the shower curtain. He's assiduous. Peter! I'm terrified, but I got it under control. I'm not gonna leave the house ever. These people, they exit prison. They have no idea what to do with themselves. They have no idea what to do with the people out there. You people, crazies, all of you, cultists in your own way, walking around free. You're a mess. You're just a beast, a phenomenon without a name. But we know it. We just got out of prison. We were thrown in prison. Some of us guilty, some of us innocent. We see you. Do you see you?